Nestled in a leafy haven, this Pretoria home is the perfect display of how contemporary meets cozy. Designer Cathri Van Den Berg shows us how you can achieve this by incorporating distressed finishes and light color palettes.
I have a soft spot for residential interior design, as I think homes are central to who we are as humans. The client's brief was to create a cozy home for her family to grow up in. So she wanted something that was relaxed, comfortable, but still sophisticated and stylish. When planning this home, I drew heavily on the coastal interior design style. So this home is situated in Gauteng, so I didn't want to do something that was overtly coastal, that would seem out of place, so far from the coast. But the coastal style had a lot of elements that aligned really well with the client's tastes and needs. So I think typical of the coastal style is a color palette of whites, beiges and blues. So in this home you will see a color palette with a lot of beige and then some white and aquamarine. Also from the coastal style, you see a lot of weathered woods, natural fibers, and you'll see that reflected in the furniture, rugs and accessories.
And to add texture into the home, you can never go wrong with plant life, which is exactly what was done in this home.
I think in the dining room area, what this house was lacking was proper space planning. So I changed the size of the dining room table. So it still has enough space to accommodate the family as well as their friends, but it's not taking up unnecessary space. From a style point of view, I selected a smoked oak finish, which went really well with the color palette and the overall look and feel. The grey leather chairs are very practical because, you can just wipe the spills right off. Moving towards the living room area, you can see I used a lot of styling to give it that cozy, comfortable feel. So in there you can still see the coastal elements coming through, an abundance of natural fibers. What you'll also see in the living room is the addition of black accents, as you can see in the frame of the painting, some of the candle holders, and the addition of these black accents, it just adds depth and interest to the room, because else a room that's completely beige can feel very flat. And I think also it adds a contemporary feel to the room. It makes it feel fresh and relevant. So I added a lot of baskets to the room. Baskets are wonderfully functional parts of your decor toolkit because they can act as planters for your house plants, your floor plants, but they also house your blankets, which you need when you snuggle in front of the TV. So I think what's really special about this home is the fact that we carried the color palette from the inside to the outside, and that gives a really cohesive feel to this home. The fire pit has cement benches. They work really well around the fire pit, but they are extremely uncomfortable. So what I did there, I had cushions made for seating as well as behind your back. In the eldest daughter's room, I went for something very contemporary because she's a teenager and I wanted to keep it fresh and youthful. So I used asymmetry in the wall murals and in the scatter cushions. Contemporary in the sense that you have a wonderfully neutral color palette, blacks and whites, very high contrast. And then I added warmth by adding wooden elements as well as plants for greenery. So I think a point of interest is definitely the oak headboard. You'll see the bits of wood staggered. I think it's eye-catching, slightly treated, just give it a contemporary feel. We added a beautiful white duvet, which works so well with the white walls. We painted the walls stark white, which made the room feel bright and airy and fresh. The younger daughter really liked the idea of leaves against the wall. So we hand painted a beautiful mural for her against that wall, and I really used that as the focal point of the room. I kept the rest of the design very low-key, very minimal, to really allow that mural to shine. We paired that with a beautiful white duvet cover as well, and minimal styling and scatter cushions. I went for a lighter grey rug, still very durable and for any child's room. The curtains that were there were kind of a teal turquoise color, and I decided to change them to grey as well. I think there's real power in keeping your color palette very tight. It makes for a very elegant space, a very calming, harmonious design. I think there's real power in that simplicity.
And both simplicity and elegance are what keep this home fresh and inviting.